My stepson filled by both holes, and it was so big that I could not walk for 3 days. I never thought a single glance could make my chest tighten like a vice. But tonight it does. The first time he stood across the room, leaning against the door frame, I felt it. A dangerous pull, like gravity had decided I belonged to him. His gaze isn't kind, isn't playful. It's calculating, sharp, and magnetic. And somehow it sees right through the fragile walls I've built around my heart. I shake my head and tell myself to breathe. I shouldn't feel this way. He's reckless, unpredictable. And yet here I am in the kitchen at midnight, washing dishes just to steal a moment alone, hoping for a glimpse, a spark, any acknowledgement that he notices me at all. The scent of rain clings to his coat when he finally steps inside. Wet asphalt, faint tobacco, something else, danger maybe? He doesn't say a word, just leans casually watching me. Every movement is deliberate, every inch of him commanding. My hands tremble as I scrub, suds sliding over my fingers like liquid fire. Late night again, he murmurs, voice low, almost a growl. I start, nearly dropping the plate. I couldn't sleep. I lie because admitting the truth would be madness. The truth being that I'm mesmerized by him, that my thoughts have been trapped in a loop of his smile, his scent, the way he tilts his head like he knows exactly what I'm thinking. He steps closer, close enough that I can feel the warmth radiating off him. My back presses against the counter, and I realize the line between casual proximity and something dangerous is razor thin. You shouldn't be here alone, he says softly. There's a warning there, but also something else. Something that curls in my stomach and makes it hard to breathe. I just needed some air, I reply, too aware of how small my voice sounds, how fragile. He doesn't answer, only leans against the counter across from me, arms crossed. Silence stretches, heavy, electric. The kitchen lights cast shadows over his sharp features, and I swear I see a flicker of amusement, or is it hunger? My pulse hammers in my ears. I catch his gaze, and it feels like he's reading me naked without a word. My chest tightens, and I bite my lip, trying to look indifferent. I fail spectacularly. I've never seen you like this, he says finally, almost whispering. Vulnerable. My stomach flips. I want to argue, to tell him he's wrong, but the words die in my throat. Vulnerable, yes, I am. And more than that, I'm aching. A part of me I've kept locked away for so long is twisting in anticipation, daring him to notice, to cross the line that I don't know if I want him to, or fear he might. His eyes flicker down for a heartbeat to my lips, then back to mine. That split second, just a glance, is enough to make me shiver. And I realize with a shock that I want him to look again. Closer, longer. I want to burn under his attention, even though it terrifies me. I can hear the rain tapping against the window now, a soft rhythm that echoes the wild beat of my heart. He steps closer, and suddenly I feel trapped, exposed yet strangely alive. Every inch between us crackles with tension, as if the air itself is charged with unspoken words and dangerous possibilities. I should go, I whisper, my voice trembling. I step back, but he mirrors me, keeping the distance just enough to tease, just enough to torment. You don't have to, he says, and the words hang there, heavy, promising, dangerous. I want to stay. I want to run. I want him to touch me, but I'm terrified of what that would mean. And yet every instinct in my body screams that I can't look away, that this is only the beginning. As I reach for a towel, my fingers brush his. A spark jolts through me, startling in its intensity. Our eyes meet, and for a heartbeat, time stops. I don't know what I'm feeling, fear, desire, anticipation. But I know one thing for certain, nothing will ever be the same after tonight, and just like that, he steps back, leaving me alone with the heat of his presence lingering on my skin, the sound of rain and a question that burns, will he come back or was this just a warning? He leaves the kitchen. I'm trembling. The air feels impossibly empty yet heavy with him. My mind spins, heart racing. What just happened? And what will come next? The next morning, the house feels impossibly quiet. Sunlight streams through the blinds, cutting the room into sharp lines of light and shadow. But it doesn't touch the heat simmering between us. I can still feel the memory of last night, that brief brush of fingers in the kitchen, his presence lingering like smoke I can't shake. I'm in the living room, curled up with a mug of coffee, trying to convince myself that it was nothing, just a fleeting moment. But then the floorboards creak, and I know before I look that it's him. He's here, moving silently, a predator disguised as a man who's casually wandering through my space. Morning, he says, voice low, husky. There's something teasing in the tone, something dangerous that sends a shiver crawling down my spine. I look up, trying to be calm. I fail immediately. He's wearing yesterday's coat, hair slightly damp from the rain. His eyes find mine, and that magnetic pull. It's back stronger this time, impossible to ignore. Coffee? I offer, though my hands shake as I hand him the mug. He takes it without a word, fingers brushing mine again. That fleeting contact ignites a fire I can't contain. We sit across from each other, silence stretching between us, loaded with unspoken words. His gaze doesn't waver, and I realize he's testing me, daring me to meet him halfway, to cross the invisible line we both know exists. I couldn't stop thinking about last night. He admits, suddenly. The words are soft, almost a whisper, but they hit me like a thunderclap. My heart hammers. I wasn't sure I wanted him to notice, and now that he does, it terrifies me. My voice falters. I'm not sure what I was going to say. It was nothing. Nothing. His eyebrow quirks, a dangerous curve. You call that nothing? He leans forward, elbows resting on his knees, and I can see the intensity in his eyes. Every glance feels like he's reading my thoughts, seeing through the mask I wear so well around everyone else. I glance down at the coffee in my hands, fingers tight around the mug. Heat pools in my stomach, rising with every second of his gaze. I want to look up, to challenge him, to tease him back, but something inside me stops. I want him. I want this. And that terrifies me more than anything. He shifts slightly, leaning closer. The space between us is unbearable, charged with an electric tension. Every nerve in my body screams that I should move away, but I don't, I can't, the pull is too strong. Why are you here? I manage to whisper, voice shaky. He smirks, slow, deliberate. Because I wanted to see if this, he gestures between us, was just a moment, or something more. My throat goes dry. I want to argue, to deny it, but his words catch something deep inside me, something I've buried for far too long. I swallow hard, trying to ground myself. We sit in silence again, but it's different now. He's closer. Every subtle movement, every shift of his body makes my skin crawl with anticipation. There's a dangerous intimacy in the air, a teasing, almost forbidden closeness, you know, he murmurs, voice dropping lower. You're not as careful as you think. I look at him, puzzled, and then realization hits me. He's talking about the way my body reacts to his presence, the way my heartbeat betrays me. My stomach twists. I try to respond, but words fail. Instead, I let my gaze drop, letting the silence speak for me. He leans back slightly, letting the tension linger but not breaking it. The room feels smaller, hotter, suffocating with desire and restraint. I know we're teetering on the edge of something neither of us is ready to cross, but that doesn't stop the ache building inside me. I need to know, he says finally, voice husky. If this is just a spark, or if it's fire, and that's it. The words hang there like a challenge, daring me to respond, daring me to reveal what I've been hiding even from myself. My fingers tighten around the mug. My chest rises and falls in shallow breaths. My mind is spinning, craving him, fearing him, wanting him. I glance up and our eyes meet again. There's so much unspoken between us, the longing, the danger, the magnetic pull. Every heartbeat feels like a countdown to something inevitable. The moment stretches, long and taut. And then just as my resolve begins to crumble, the phone rings, slicing through the charged silence like a knife. He glances at it, annoyance flickering across his face, and I realize, whatever is about to happen between us, it's not yet time. But I know, deep down, it's coming. And neither of us can deny it anymore. The phone interrupts, but the tension hasn't broken. We both know the spark between us is dangerous, consuming, inevitable. Whatever happens next will change everything. The house is quiet now, the phone forgotten on the counter. Rain taps softly against the windows, a rhythmic pulse that matches my racing heartbeat. Every sense is heightened, smell, touch, sound, and the memory of him close, teasing, watching, is a constant ache in my chest. He's there again, leaning against the doorframe. Arms crossed, shadows playing over his face. His presence fills the room, making it feel smaller, hotter, impossibly intimate. I can't stop staring at him, memorizing the way the light hits the sharp line of his jaw, the way his eyes darken when he looks at me. I can't stop thinking about you, he says suddenly, quiet but deliberate. The words hang in the air, impossible to ignore. My chest tightens, throat closing with a mix of fear and exhilaration. You, what? I manage to whisper, barely able to breathe. I can't stop thinking, he repeats, stepping closer. His voice is low, deliberate, almost a growl. About your hands, your eyes, the way you move. I've been replaying last night in my head over and over. My fingers tighten around the edge of the counter. I know I should push him away, deny it, act indifferent, but I can't. The truth is there, raw and undeniable. I want him. All of him. And the confession, the honesty in his voice makes my own desire impossible to hide. I start, voice trembling. I feel the same. His eyes widen slightly, a flicker of surprise before that smoldering intensity returns. He takes another step closer, closing the distance between us. I can feel his warmth, smell the faint scent of his cologne mixing with the rain, and it's almost unbearable. Every nerve in my body is alert, desperate. I've wanted to touch you, he admits, almost a whisper. To feel if this is real. But I didn't want to scare you. I wanted you to want it too. I can't speak. Words would ruin this, and yet I ache to respond, to bridge the gap. My lips part, breathing shallow, anticipation coiling tight in my stomach. He leans closer, and I can feel the heat of his body pressing into mine. His hand hovers near my arm, a whisper of contact that sends jolts of electricity through me. My heart pounds violently, and I realize I'm trembling, not from fear, not from hesitation, but from the sheer intensity of the moment. Slowly, deliberately, he brushes his fingers against mine. The contact is light, almost teasing, but it ignites a fire that spreads through me like wildfire. I gasp, and he smiles, a slow, knowing curve of lips that makes my knees weak. You feel it too, he murmurs, eyes locking with mine. The pull between us. The fire. I nod, unable to find my voice. I'm too consumed by the heat radiating off him, by the ache building in my chest, by the knowledge that this isn't just desire, it's something more, something dangerous and exhilarating. Then, in one deliberate movement, he closes the last few inches between us. Our hands still touch, fingers intertwined, and I can feel his pulse rapid and steady at once. His lips hover near mine, close enough that I can feel the warmth, the unspoken promise. I want you, he whispers, and the words are like a spark, lighting dry kindling. My breath hitches, my entire body trembling at the admission. I lean forward almost instinctively, closing the distance, letting my lips brush his in a feather-light, tentative kiss. It's slow, electric, a soft collision of want and caution. Every nerve in me is alive, every sense screaming in protest and anticipation. He deepens the kiss slightly, not rushing, letting the intensity build without losing control. It's perfect, dangerous, real. My hands slide up to his shoulders, then rest lightly against his chest, feeling the heat beneath his shirt, feeling the solid weight of him. For a long, suspended moment, we simply exist like this, lips barely touching, hearts racing, the air around us charged and electric. It's not just a kiss. It's a confession, a promise, a declaration of need and desire we can no longer deny. Then, just as my resolve begins to shatter completely, the moment breaks. A sound from the hallway, a door opening, a distant voice startles us. He pulls back slightly, eyes dark with frustration and want. I'm left breathless, trembling, craving more than I can admit aloud. I murmur, trying to find words, but he silences me with a finger against my lips. Later, he says, voice low and dangerous. We'll finish this. When no one can interrupt, when it's just us, my stomach flips at the promise. My body aches, my heart races, and I know with absolute certainty there's no turning back. The fire between us has ignited and nothing can extinguish it. The kiss is incomplete, interrupted, but the tension is at a peak. We both know that the next time, it will be more than just a brush of lips. Desire, confession, and danger are all teetering on the edge, and neither of us can deny it. The evening air is thick, humid from the rain earlier, carrying the faint scent of wet asphalt and jasmine from the garden. I can hear the soft hum of the city beyond the walls, but in this room it feels like we exist in a bubble, detached, suspended, and dangerously intimate. He's there again, standing close, just beyond reach. I feel the weight of him in the space between us, a magnetic pull I can no longer ignore. My fingers twitch, wanting to reach out, wanting to cross the invisible line that separates tension from surrender. I've been thinking about you all day, he murmurs, voice low and deliberate. About this, about us. The words are simple, but they hit me with the force of a storm. Every nerve in my body wakes, every sense sharpens. I know he feels it too. The pull, the need, the tension so thick it's almost painful. I swallow hard, heart pounding. I can't stop thinking about you either. My voice is raw, unpolished, but it's honest. He takes a slow step closer, and I feel the heat radiating from him. The subtle shift in the air that makes the room almost unbearably close. He's testing me, teasing me, daring me to make the first move, but I don't need the dare. I'm already there, trembling, aching, ready. I want to feel you, he says, barely above a whisper. I need to know this is real. I nod, unable to speak. Every instinct in me is screaming, yes, yes, yes. I step forward, closing the distance, letting my hands brush his chest lightly. The contact is electric, fire igniting at the tips of my fingers. His hands find my waist, warm, steady, grounding. The pressure is just enough to anchor me, to pull me closer without rushing, letting the anticipation coil tighter and tighter. My breath catches as our eyes meet, and I see the reflection of my own longing mirrored in his gaze. You're breathtaking, he murmurs, voice husky. I can't. I press a finger to his lips, cutting him off because words are unnecessary. Desire is speaking louder than language ever could. I lean into him and our lips meet in a kiss that's slow, deliberate, and utterly consuming. This time there's no hesitation, no teasing, just fire, pulling us together, hands exploring, hearts racing. His hands move with certainty, tracing my curves over the fabric of my clothes, igniting shivers along my spine. Every touch, every glance, every subtle movement makes me ache with anticipation. It's not just physical, it's emotional, raw, and utterly consuming. I feel his breath against my ear, warm and tantalizing. You don't know what you do to me, he whispers. My knees weaken at the admission. It's dangerous, intoxicating, and completely uncontrollable. I respond with a soft moan, tilting my head to deepen the kiss, letting him feel how desperately I want him. Every barrier I've built around my heart, every careful restraint, crumbles beneath the intensity of this connection. He pulls back slightly, just enough to look into my eyes, and I see it there. Vulnerability, trust, and a hunger that mirrors my own. I want all of you, he admits. Every part. No hesitation. No walls. My chest rises and falls rapidly, my fingers clutching the fabric of his shirt. Then take it, I whisper, voice trembling with need and fear. I'm yours completely. For a moment, we simply stare at each other, suspended in that charged space. The anticipation is unbearable. I can feel my body responding, heart racing, every sense heightened. The air between us hums with tension, passion, and the thrill of surrender. Then he closes the distance again, hands firm and guiding, lips pressing to mine in a kiss that's no longer gentle. It's claiming, consuming, a declaration of fire and desire. I lean into him fully, letting the heat, the tension, and the longing wash over me. We break apart only for breath, foreheads resting together. The room is thick with our shared heartbeat, the scent of each other, the raw energy of need and trust. Are you sure? He asks, voice low, almost vulnerable. I nod, certainty blazing through me. I've never been more sure of anything. He smiles, a slow, dangerous smile that makes my stomach flip. And then without a word, he pulls me closer, and the world outside ceases to exist. There is only this, only us, teetering on the edge of everything we've held back, everything we've desired, everything that has been building since that first glance. The tension has reached its peak. Desire, trust, and vulnerability have collided, leaving us raw and exposed. The next step, beyond the brink, is inevitable. But will it fulfill our longing or test the limits of what we can handle? The room is dim now, lit only by the soft amber glow of the lamp in the corner. The rain has eased to a gentle drizzle outside, each drop tapping against the window like a heartbeat keeping time with my own. He's close, closer than ever before, and I feel the weight of every glance, every touch, every unspoken word that's been building between us for days. Our lips meet again, slower this time, deliberate, savoring each moment as though we're memorizing the other. His hands rest lightly on my waist, firm but careful, grounding me, and I, hands trembling slightly, slide them up along his chest, feeling the warmth radiating from him, the steady beat of his pulse. There is no hesitation, no uncertainty here, Only raw, consuming desire tempered by mutual trust and understanding. I've wanted this for so long. He whispers against my lips. The words are a confession, a promise, a declaration. My chest tightens, emotions threatening to overflow. You've been in my mind every single day, every single moment. I can't go back now. I tilt my head up to look into his eyes, and I see it reflected there. The same ache, the same longing, the same vulnerability I've been trying to hide. I've wanted it too, I admit, voice low, almost a whisper. More than I can say. The air between us shimmers with anticipation, and for a moment I feel weightless, suspended in the intensity of this connection. It's not just desire, it's understanding, trust, and the thrill of surrender. He leans in again, brushing his lips over mine, and I feel the spark ignite into something more, something that makes my heart pound, my breath catch, and every nerve in my body alive with electricity. Our hands move almost instinctively, tracing contours, feeling textures, exploring with a reverent intimacy that speaks of unspoken promises and trust earned. Every touch sends shivers through me. Every glance ignites fire in my chest. I feel him in every fiber of my being, and the intensity of our connection is almost overwhelming. I want you completely. He murmurs, voice low, rough with emotion. No walls, no hiding, nothing left unsaid. I nod, heart racing, every part of me trembling with anticipation. I'm yours, I whisper. All of me, completely. He smiles, that slow, dangerous smile that has haunted my thoughts for days. And then he draws me close, pressing his forehead against mine, letting the intensity build before anything else happens. I can feel the warmth, the solidity, the magnetic pull that has drawn us together from the first glance. Time slows. The outside world ceases to exist. There is only him, only me, only the rhythm of our hearts, the heat of our bodies, and the ache of our desire. He leans in again, this time deeper, lips moving over mine with a slow, deliberate hunger that leaves me gasping. My hands clutch at his shirt, feeling the strength beneath, feeling the grounding presence that steadies the chaos inside me. I've never felt anything like this, he breathes, pulling back just enough to look into my eyes. There's vulnerability there, something unspoken but powerful. You've changed everything. Made me better, I think. More alive, I smile, trembling. I feel the same. It's terrifying, and perfect all at once. We come together again, lips meeting in a kiss that is no longer tentative or exploratory. It's a declaration, a consuming fire that bridges every unspoken word, every longing, every shared secret. The room fills with the quiet sound of rain, soft and rhythmic, underscoring the intensity of our connection. He guides me backward toward the couch, careful, deliberate, letting the tension stretch just long enough to savor it. I follow willingly, entranced, heart hammering with a mix of fear and exhilaration. Every brush of skin, every shared breath, every whispered word is electric, building toward something inevitable. I never want this to end, he murmurs, voice rough, low, intimate. Not ever. You won't, I reply, voice steady despite the storm of emotion inside me. We'll make sure it doesn't. The intensity peaks, but it's more than physical. It's emotional, psychological, intimate in ways that run deeper than skin. Every touch, every gaze, every breath shared carries the weight of trust and desire, of vulnerability and strength, of passion tempered by understanding. The room feels alive with us, every heartbeat, every whisper, every shiver synchronized in an exquisite tension. Hours seem to pass and collapse into a single, perfect moment where nothing exists beyond the two of us. When we finally pull apart, it's slow, lingering as though neither of us wants to break the spell. We lie together, bodies pressed close, hearts still racing, foreheads touching. I didn't think it could ever be like this, I whisper, tracing patterns on his chest, memorizing him in the quiet intimacy. I didn't know that desire could feel like this, safe and consuming at the same time. He smiles softly, brushing a strand of hair from my face. I've never felt safe like this with anyone, he admits. Except you. You make everything feel right, even when it's dangerous. I close my eyes, letting the words sink in, letting the quiet aftermath wash over me. We've crossed the edge, surrendered to desire, and emerged not broken but closer, bonded by fire, trust, and unspoken promises. Outside, the rain has stopped. Inside, the warmth lingers, soft, steady, unyielding. And I know this is only the beginning. Desire, trust, and passion have merged into something unstoppable. And nothing will ever be the same again. We lie there, intertwined, breathing in sync, hearts pounding in a rhythm that feels like our own secret language. There are no walls left between us, only the shared knowledge that we've given ourselves fully, completely to each other. And in that quiet, suspended moment, I realize something profound. This is more than desire. It's connection, understanding, and a fire that will never die. Whatever comes next, we face it together, bound by passion, trust, and the knowledge that we've survived the fire and come out stronger, alive, and utterly inseparable.